WrestleMania is back. Fans are back. Normal wrestling, Nick, is back. At least if only for 2 nights. But my gosh, it almost looked like God did not want there to be wrestling in front of fans tonight. WrestleMania 37, Nick, Ryan. Night 1 review here had a little bit of a delay. Fans had to leave. They couldn't get in for a while. They got in. They do the intro. They do everything. And then, pause. Nick, I got scared for a minute that we were going to be waiting. And I didn't get the exact time on the delay, but there was a delay. But everything came off, man. Your thoughts before we get into anything in particular, and we're going to run down this show. Is it a thumbs-up show for you? You got a letter grade? You have a star rating? I don't care how you do it. What do you think overall of how it came off tonight?
Overall, better than I thought it was going to be. I guess if you can say that, I was pleasantly surprised. So I mean, I guess I would somewhere around. I'd have to. I mean, almost even. I thought maybe C plus, B minus, just because I thought this was going to be awful, and it really wasn't. The rain delay did scare the heck out of me too, because living in Florida, even working down here, it can shut things down for hours, man, right, because of the lightning. So, a 40-minute delay is really not that bad when you're really thinking about what could have been. So just happy it got off. And I thought they covered it really well with the promos from the back. We had done some shows earlier and said we missed the promos from the back, and maybe the wrestling gods heard us and agreed and, brought the promos from the back. And I thought the guys stepped up.
Unscripted, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought they went well. You know, so I thought it was a good cover, for the 40 minutes to just throw those guys and let them, boost their feuds a little bit.
I'd like to hear how they decided who was going to talk and who wasn't, because it seemed like you had a lot of the dudes that they're like, okay, we know the New Day can go out there and just BS for a little bit. Let's throw them out there. Drew's a pretty good talker. Let's let Drew talk a little bit. MVP, we know he could talk. Let him in. They didn't say, hey, Sasha, go talk.
Right. Yep. That's a good point.
It was interesting. It was interesting to see how they did that. So, yes, here we go. A big thunderstorm rolls through. Mania starts. The first guy of the night, everybody was talking because the opening match was going to be Drew McIntyre. And Drew's going to get the first pop of the night. Drew's going to be the first person everybody sees. He's going to get that first huge pop in 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day that he didn't get a year ago. Didn't turn out that way, but it's hard to argue the way they did it. Vince McMahon was the first guy that came out, thanking the fans. All the wrestlers lined up there. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that at all. And that's the way it should have been. What do you think about that and how they did that, and then going into America the Beautiful?
I thought that was cool. Yeah, just to come out, and thank the fans for being there and thank them, being patient. You got a rain delay. I mean, I'm sure everyone in that building was jumping at the bit, trying to they wanted to get that thing going. And I noticed, I tried to find him. I think they kept the Fiend off the stage.
Did they? You know what? I was watching on my phone at that point, so I didn't see him.
Because I was like, man, it's going to be really weird if he's just standing out there with Bliss. I don't remember if I saw Bliss, but I was trying because they only gave quick cover shots of it and everything, But I was looking. I didn't see a Fiend out there, so maybe I missed him.
The most interesting thing to me from that was everybody was kind of tiered as importance on the card. The front row was Triple H, Vince, Roman Reigns, and Stephanie McMahon. That was the most interesting thing to me. Roman Reigns, part of the Big Four now. Linda, beat it. Roman's in there now. The head of the table was actually at the head of the table for that. So then, this is my problem. They have this awesome intro. with Vince and all the wrestlers, thanking the fans. Hey, we're back, da-da-da. They do the national anthem, and then they go to the intro to WrestleMania. And this thing is about an hour long, and they're trying to be funny, and they're trying to be clever, and they're like kind of making fun of themselves, and they're kind of making fun of wrestling, and they're kind of making fun of the people that are marks, kind of. And it just dragged and dragged and dragged. I'm like, you got this big, important, hey, man, we're back, we're back, we're back. Give us that emotion. Give us the moments. Keep that going. And they're doing this fake comedy crap. That didn't work for me at all, brother.
I don't think it was followed very, very well either. You know, we're Hogan guys, and what was the purpose of Hogan and Titus hosting? Why don't we just? They're introducing WrestleMania, right, and then they're disappearing for the rest of the night.
Yeah, they weren't there the rest of the night, other than that one NWO segment. Yes.
I didn't see I didn't hate it or anything. I'm not saying it was bad. I just didn't see a purpose in it. I would have hit the floor, like you said, running, like explosions, McIntyre's music hits. Let this place erupt. They've been on a rain delay for 40 freaking minutes.
Right.
They're sitting there ready to roll, man.
Right.
You know, I guess they just went with what they had planned, though.
Yeah, and that Hogan, and, you know, that was going to be awkward anyway. There were boos for Hogan. There were audible boos. There were cheers also, but especially as he kept talking, like every time it was his turn to talk, boos got a little louder. Boos got a little louder every single time. They're going to have to watch that because it's only going to keep getting worse.
It will.
It's just going to keep getting worse. So that didn't work.
I think the more sparingly you use him, the better it would be for him and the company, because we've seen it before. You take anybody away long enough, bring them back, they'll garner a pop usually, you know. So maybe, you know, he disappears now until next WrestleMania.
Well, the internet fans have taken over wrestling, and now there's really not much left but internet fans, and they don't want anything to do with Hogan for the most part. So they're really going to have to watch it with him. Let's talk wrestling here. McIntyre comes out first. He does get that big pop. Cool entrance. It worked. You know, I'm not a big fan of the sword. We know all that. It worked. He fights Lashley. Lashley comes out second. I noticed throughout the night there had to be piped in noise still, even though there was 25,000 people there. Nick, there had to be piped in noise because some of it was just insanely loud.
I wondered, I don't know, Ryan, I'll leave you with that. It made you wonder because they had gotten to the point where I felt they were piping it in fairly well over the last couple months here and having it go, doing it well, coinciding with the match. You assume so? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you talk about the match, but I'll say what happened here. You know, when we heard the women were going on last, the first thing you said was, well, that means Lashley's going to win. And I would normally think that as well, except for this match was first. I'm like, you really want to tick the people off right away? But are you ticking them off? Because in the last 6 weeks, 2 months, Lashley has really started to get going here. Now, the past couple of weeks, they have tried to make McIntyre that, you know, awesome, tough guy that he was a year ago. They're starting to do that again. He did it a little bit in this match. He did the flick off thing, and he's beating people up in the back the last few weeks and all that, being a tough guy. So that's gotten his juice back a little bit. But I got to say, opening match of the night, I did not expect Bobby to win because of that. I didn't think they'd want to give the crowd a weird wow right out of the gate. They did. Bobby, by TKO, I guess, basically. Drew does not tap, but he passes out. Bobby is your champion still. Go through the match, Nick. What do you like? Do you like the finish? I know you're a Lashley guy.
I loved it. And I'll tell you this. I think the greatest Drew rumor, that the rumor of Drew needing his moment at WrestleMania was the best wrong rumor I think that was started on the internet for this match. because I think that sold everybody. We were all believing that they were going to go back, give Drew his moment. And the whole way the match started, I was thinking still, Bobby's got to win this. We've seen Drew McIntyre. He's fought the whole roster. You're going to put the belt back on him. I mean, I don't hate Drew. Me and you both like Drew.
No, not at all.
But I was just like, what are you going to do with him for another even 6 months?
Right.
He's fought literally every top guy on the card. You know, I don't know. I thought the match was awesome. I know it didn't have it's not an AEW hit him with a million finishers match. And I thought that was cool.
At one point.
Know. They hit him with big moves, but I think they countered a lot too, man. I don't remember Lashley kicking out of the Claymore.
He did not hit him with the Claymore. He hit him with 4 future shock DDTs, though.
Right. He did hit him with those. And he didn't I think McIntyre got to the ropes and did not power out of the full Nelson the first time he got in it. And I thought that was cool, saving both guys' finishing moves, that they did not kick out or get out. And I thought it was cool at the end. They both did some power moves through the match.
A ton of them.
Dude, I had one for you. Guys, this is why I don't want to hear about these dives. Drew McIntyre did a sick dive over the top rope on this match.
And Drew's like 6'5", 270.
Yeah, it's not impressive that guys on the other channel on Wednesday, the size of his leg, are doing the same thing. You know, Drew is doing this. I mean, that was, I don't know. I thought the match was great. I thought the finish, you were teased the Bret Hart Stone Cold finish kind of when he went up the buckle.
No. The Bret Hart
Piper
finish. Like, come on.
I know. You that. I love that match too. But man, I thought, and it looked a little, and then he rolled right through it, and he kept it on. And when he kept it on, I was like, holy crap, he's gonna do this, you know. And I don't know. I don't think the match really hurt Drew that much. I mean.
No, I don't think it hurt him.
He lost, but he's lost before. Right. So it's not like Orton's beaten him. Sheamus has beaten him. You know, multiple people. The Miz, I know it was a cash-in, but The Miz has a win over him. You know, so I don't know. I thought the match was awesome. And you know what? I think it's time for Drew McIntyre to go away for 3, 4, 5 months. Come back around maybe SummerSlam. He hits it hard. Keep these two away. You could maybe even do a rematch next year with these two guys if they don't see each other for the entire year in the same ring.
That's a long time to be away.
It is, maybe even 3 months or something. Man, I just think he needs time off. I'm stale on him, Ryan.
That's the word.
And I don't like it when I would like to see, I don't know what you're going to do, maybe a little edgier. It doesn't have to be a big shift in him. I don't like it when they Apollo Crews people and he shows up tomorrow on Monday night with a new gimmick. Yeah, you got to go away and give me a minute to forget about who you were before you introduce, if he's going to be built a different way. And I don't know, but he'll be there, I'm sure. But
I didn't think the match was awesome. I thought it was really good. Now, part of that may be because I was distracted, because once again, second time this week, I have a Samsung television. And I have an Amazon Fire Stick. The two leaders in the market. Samsung's the best TV money can buy, and Fire Stick is the top selling streaming device, whatever those are called. I have those two things. Peacock is not on either one of those. How is that possible? How is that possible that you're not on the two best things you can be on? So I have to watch on my computer. Well, during the Hall of Fame, I watched it for like an hour, and it died, and it would not reload again. I watched the first hour because I was in Lansing, Michigan, working an hour away. I watched the first hour on my phone. I get back, get on my computer. It will not load. I get this picture of a giant-eyed cat that just says something went wrong over and over and over again. Tried on my laptop. Wouldn't load. So I was messing around with that a lot during this match. I finally got it to work, and it did finally stream on my laptop. I was watching it on my phone. Worked on my phone. Don't tell me my internet's slow. It's the same internet on my phone as on my computers. So I don't know what the deal there is, but it finally did work on my laptop until the main event, and then it died again. Anyway, so I didn't have 100% complete focus on this match as I probably would have. I did think it was very good.
I enjoyed it.
Bobby kicked out of the 4 future shocks, and you're right. He didn't hit the Claymore. MVP distracts. I didn't like that finish. I didn't like how you made the good guy look like an idiot. He just gets distracted. The distraction finishes, man. They do these like 3 times a night on Raw and SmackDown. Now you're going to do it in your world title match at WrestleMania, a distraction finish. Your good guy, your top guy, looks like a dumb fool.
They were trying to figure some way to get it. He had that. He couldn't lose clean.
And I'm going to go back to something. Those of everybody who has listened to us or watched us or whatever for a year now, this match once again proves what I'm worried about with Roman Reigns. 1 year ago, Drew is as hot as could be. 6 months ago, Drew was still pretty darn hot as could be. 1 year later, he's losing in the first match of the night. He is getting knocked out in the first match of the night by some guy who got hotter than him in the past couple of months. So where does that leave him? And he has nobody else to fight now. Like you said, he has to go away. Who's he going to fight? There's nobody else on the roster for him to fight. This is what I'm worried about with Roman Reigns a year from now. And people want him to fight The Rock in a year. Now, if you're fighting The Rock, you might be pretty hot just because you're in the ring with The Rock. But I'm worried there's nobody for this guy to fight anymore.
Don't they do a draft, or is that now only in the fall?
They
do one?
They switched it the last time they did it in the fall. It's usually a couple of weeks after Mania, usually. But I think the pandemic messed that up last year.
You might see Drew get moved pretty quickly here to SmackDown. I mean, I don't know what else you'd have. You'd have to move someone significant.
But then
back
who's
to
your
Raw.
top face on Raw?
Right.
Yeah,
that's the problem. But I mean,
and there isn't another face on SmackDown to move over there. So anyway, okay, so that was that match. Very good match. Good way to start it. I thought it might have been a hair long, but good match. Very good match. Okay, so then we go to the back, and you want to talk about Bayley is in the back with the NWO, and she's being the new Bayley gimmick where she's like an annoying talk show host and just like obnoxious all over the place. The NWO and Titus are like, you suck. And they all leave. And that was the segment. You want to talk about what a difference a year makes. This girl had the title for over 400 days. This girl was the female wrestler of the year last year. She was awesome all year. She did a great job. She finally, we could not stand this girl 4 years ago when she was the cute, bubbly girl. She brought us both around, especially you. She has the WrestleMania 2 to WrestleMania 3 King Kong Bundy fall here. It might be worse than the King Kong Bundy fall.
She's not on the card.
This is terrible, dude. Yeah. This is terrible. She went from the most annoying, terrible thing ever. I know everybody in NXT loved that gimmick. When she came up, it was bad. When she came up, I don't know about NXT. It was bad when she came up. Then she got really good the last year. She is back down to being the worst. There is zero redeeming quality in this gimmick. And she's not even on the card. Is she hurt? Then we just don't know it. Like, is she hurt?
She has not gotten up since her loss to Sasha.
No. She hasn't even really wrestled in the last. That's why I wonder if she's hurt.
Last summer, before Roman came back, she was my favorite wrestler.
I know. And that's saying something because
I know. I freaking couldn't stand her. Like you said, when she did the
without
hugger
telling
gimmick.
the story, we got removed from the Hall of Fame from one section and put in another section because we were ripping on her so bad.
Well,
And she
true
became
story.
your favorite wrestler.
Yeah. And now I don't want to see her anymore.
And now we might get moved again.
Yeah. She's terrible right now. Yeah.
It's
I got
terrible.
nothing more to say. Yep.
How does anybody, I see people like, oh yeah, ding dong, hello. No, it is go away, change the channel heat. So that happened. Then they had this tag team turmoil match. This is when I was really messing with my computer. I didn't watch like any of this. I did see the end, and I see Natty and Tamina are your winners and are going to fight. So we don't get 2 nights of Roman Reigns. We don't get 2 nights of Drew McIntyre. We don't get 2 nights of Sasha Banks. We get 2 nights of watching Natty and Tamina wrestle? Who asked for one?
It's also right. These tag team turmoil, the way they do them, I guess they're okay if you have some sort of mastermind behind it who's making someone work to get up or punishing them. But how is this a fair number 1 ranking, even just looking at it? The first draw has such an unfair advantage versus the last draw.
Well, it's no different than the Royal Rumble, really, but yes, you're right.
I get that, but for this, I don't know. It made me it reminded me of why this doesn't need to be 2 nights. These were a bunch of people. I felt bad for Carmella. I felt bad for Naomi because I think those 2 girls are 2 of the best on the show that are out there. I think both of them are totally underused.
Can you run down who was in this match? Name the teams. I got a little something here. Name the teams. Who was
Naomi and Lana, Carmella and Billie Kay, the Riot Squad, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and then Natalya and Tamina.
What do they all have in common?
I don't want to watch any of them right now.
They're just 2 girls thrown together.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
In a match that was just thrown together because you didn't bother writing a storyline.
I hate these.
But you have 5 teams. Riot Squad, maybe not. 4 teams of just 2 girls. Hey, we got nothing for you. Let's just throw you together. But guess what? If not all of them, most of them were in other tag teams. You broke up like the Iconics. I wasn't a huge fan of them. Well, what'd you break them up for? They actually had a gimmick. They worked. It worked. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but it worked. And it made sense. Hey, 2 Australian girls are both they got this thing going. No, let's put Billie Kay with, I don't even know who she was with. You just said it, and I don't even know. Like, what are you doing?
Carmella, yeah. Who was Mandy? What was it? Desire and something else, or Mandy Rose?
Fire and Desire, and she's not wrestling still. She's on the show.
Right.
Like
I understand you had that, but you threw these, and I thought,
well, they're both blonde. Put them together.
And you know what? I was sitting there looking at them. They should killer bees them or something, man, and make them heels or something, and try to interchange them or something. Because I don't know what else you're doing with them. You're right. These are just a bunch of females thrown in. It's a match that doesn't need to be on WrestleMania. Perfect point. Not everybody gets to be on the card. It doesn't need to be 2 nights.
No, you're right. Not everybody does get to be on the card. Like Dolph Ziggler and Glorious. They got to fight on SmackDown WrestleMania.
Jey Uso, Shinsuke Nakamura. These guys are all fight. They don't make the card, but this list of people,
Turmoil does.
Yeah. For 2 nights, basically. And I don't know,
and then the winners are Tamina and Natty. Those are the winners? Hey, where was Mandy Rose a year ago?
She was pretty hot, man. I thought it was.
Well, she still is, but yeah.
The Dolph Ziggler angle
and Otis, and they just ended that for no reason. Just like these tag teams,
we're back in the tag team.
And that actually, they got COVID, and then they broke them up afterward. That's what it was. And why not just put them back together? Why? Like, it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it was cool. And people seemed to like it. It was actually a comedy thing that kind of worked. They just ended it for no reason and took the money in the bank off of him and just went, oh, nope. What are you doing?
This was the worst match on the card, I thought, tonight, Ryan. I thought they even gave the Riot Squad in one match. Now, maybe I missed it, and maybe they've been using this for a while, but they kind of came up with this pretty cool finisher where the one girl, the blonde girl, hits them with kind of keeps her on the body on their knees, and then Ruby comes off the top and smashes down on them. It's a pretty cool finisher. Tamina kicks out of it tonight. I'm like, oh, there that goes. You know, I mean, you gave him a cool finisher, and Tamina kicks right out of it.
First day.
They put two different groups away with it.
We've spent far too much time on this match.
Yeah, we have. This match was terrible. I just not needed. I didn't even think it worked well. I thought it didn't flow well. I thought people were not. They were. I don't want to say like botched. I don't know if that's the word. It just didn't flow well.
Well, what was botched was the ring announcer saying that the Riot Squad got eliminated when it was Randy and them. And that was not the last time that happened tonight. We will talk about that later down the road. Cesaro Rollins. Pretty good match here, Nick. People got what they wanted. Cesaro is a guy, speaking of battle royals, 7 years ago, WrestleMania 30, he gets the second biggest pop of the night. He wins, but they're pushing that in this push, I guess. This is his first singles match. He had a start and stop career, start and stop. They are really pumping that. Will this finally be the time he breaks through? Nick, go ahead with the match.
I thought it was good. It seemed Cesaro was a little obsessed with swinging, Seth, but that was a little
airplane spinning and swinging and spinning.
Yeah, but it was cool. I mean, Cesaro definitely deserved the win. Big win over Seth Rollins. I thought the whole lineup to the close with Rollins going for the stomp, Cesaro counters it into an uppercut. He puts him on this, I think they called it the UFO or some sort of rack spin. That was cool.
It was
then
cool.
He swings him 23 times, hits the neutralizer. Decent match. The right one guy won. I'd even say better than decent. I'd say good match.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. That's all I really got to say. I don't think the feud was insanely good. The build, if you will, I think that could have been better. I think they should have focused more on you're not on my level.
Yeah.
I like the promo. The kind of political ad Seth Rollins dropped in the last couple weeks. I thought that was good. But, it was a good match. I mean, definitely didn't hurt the show at all. I enjoyed it.
I got great match written down. All that stuff I just said, the stomp out of the uppercut, everything you said. The spinning stuff is a little much, but it got saved by the UFO thing where he puts his arms down and that was cool, man. I think they can make Cesaro work. Is he going to be some kind of mega star? No, I don't think he's going to be. But as far as wrestling fans go, this guy's over, man, and he can work. And there is something cool about him. Because he doesn't have the most charisma in the world, but there's something there, and it's been there for 7 years. So hopefully they keep rolling with it. I do wonder what they do with Seth now, though, because this was a dead-end gimmick before he left and had the kid, and he came back, and now it's a different tweak to the Messiah gimmick or whatever it is. It's a little different, but
it's better than the Messiah gimmick. I'll give him that. But he's losing again.
Yeah, this guy, he has been turned in whatever so many times that I think his career has peaked. Like, I don't know what it would take to get back.
Maybe a little time away. I know I keep saying that about everybody, and everybody can't go away, but we've had so many of these guys crammed down our throats for so long.
Right. But he just did come back. You know?
Right. I know.
I thought that was the time to do something with him. Nope. They just throw him right back with it.
Gave him the same gimmick. It's just not a great idea. I don't either.
Okay, here we go. Tag team championship. New Day taking on Elmas. Every single person says it different, so I still don't know. And the way they all keep saying it isn't how it's spelled. So almost, I don't know how to say this guy's name still. OMOS. He came down like wearing his normal clothes. I'm like, what is this guy doing? What do you think about this match, Nick? I'll let you go. You are a huge AJ Styles fan, so what do you think?
I liked it. I thought it was good the way they wrote it. It was, and like we said when we did the WrestleMania 3 podcast, what I really did like about this Mania is you felt a lot of the matches were different. This was one being, I kind of had a little semblance with a Bad Bunny match, but that got away and turned the corner and did well. But this was a cool match. New Day cut off the ring. Their plan was to keep AJ isolated on one side. I said it before. We may have a Giant Gonzalez problem with the big guy. I don't think he's that great in the ring. I mean, he was better than Giant Gonzalez, like, because he ran back and forth, and that showed me he's better than Giant Gonzalez. So that's where. But, his power moves, I was a little bit underimpressed. The choke slam was kind of a choke drop. It was – but it was cool. He came in. I would say make sure you protect this guy. Keep him as a monster.
Well, that's why they have him with AJ.
And that's – you know what? And I don't see any reason for these guys to lose the tag titles anytime soon. I would have these guys run for a while. And, at the earliest, I mean, even SummerSlam seems early. I think they should just murder the tag team division. And then you assume there's going to be a breakup at some point where, you try to move Amos or whatever by
Amos
himself.
and Andy.
Yeah.
What if they faced Natty and Tamina? Would they keep it till a year?
Yeah, I don't know, though. They're hot right now. Natty and Tamina are freaking hot.
Okay, so there's that. And he wins with like a single foot on the chest. He did Ultimate Warrior Macho Man style there with that win. Foot on the chest for the W there. Okay, then we move on to don'tbeabully.com. Braun against Shane in a steel cage. I wonder if Shane is going to get thrown off this cage, Nick. So we got the Fiend, right? They're fighting tomorrow against Orton. And you would assume it's going to be some kind of crazy match or whatever. I mean, the guy came back from the dead and everything. He was burned to death. So you would assume there's going to be some kind of crazy stipulation match, some kind of funhouse match again. I don't know. No, they're just having a normal wrestling match from what we've been told. Normal wrestling match. But don't you dare call anybody stupid. Because if you do, you got to fight in a steel cage, brother. You got to go right to the steel cage. That's not the blow-off match. That's the first match. Because Shane needs to fly, brother.
Okay. And does anybody buy the I'm sorry, the Braun bullied? Okay, if this dude's huge, if someone had the audacity or the cojones to call him stupid in high school, he probably smashed them. I mean, I just don't buy that this guy was bullied. Like that's the story. The monster among men was bullied. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. It just didn't fly.
Well, I thought he was from the backwoods, like with the Wyatts. Who bullied him?
I maybe the other Wyatts. Maybe that's where the other family is.
Yeah.
I don't know. And again, dude, anytime Shane wrestles, especially a Taker style guy or a Braun style guy, I just feel it makes them look terrible unless it's a squash match. It's Shane McMahon. He's like 50. Fighting. He's 50 years old, and Braun's what? Maybe around 30.
And he's selling his punches.
Which
are the worst ever.
I was actually pleasantly surprised with the way the match started because I was like, okay, they Elias and his bodyguard or whatever jump him, and they smash him with the chair. They get in there, they hand Shane a chair, and I'm like, okay, he's going to use weapons. He's going to use all this. The second it turned into Shane bobbing and weaving, and the guy is known for getting these hands, but he can't outpunch Shane McMahon. It just doesn't make sense to me. And like you said, you knew he'd fly off the cage. And I don't know, man. Strowman hits a power slam for the win. I just didn't think the match was great. I mean, it was just your typical Shane match.
It was a Shane match. Yeah, you're right. They did the right thing because I think they are finally listening. Why is anybody lasting? Why is Shane lasting 5 seconds with any of these guys, let alone Braun Strowman? So they gave you, they injured him before he got in the cage. That makes sense. I can understand that. But yes, you're exactly right. And you knew he was flying off that cage at some point. Like, it was just what he does. And it's like they bring him out here every year just so the fans can see that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, we got to have something crazy. Shane, what's he doing? Because, again, he came out of nowhere. He hasn't been on TV forever. They bring him a year since last Mania. He comes out, well, he was at Raw Underground, but he comes out and in here out of nowhere and just starts making fun of Braun for no reason. Like, there was one cool thing that happened in this match. We may have seen it. I don't remember seeing it, at least not in WWE. Shane was outside climbing back down the cage. Braun ripped the side of the cage off and pulled him back through. I did think that was cool. That was very cool.
The only problem I had with that, he has the power to rip apart a steel cage, but Shane can withstand his blows.
There you go.
I don't get that. He can rip the cage off. Why doesn't he just rip Shane McMahon apart when they get in the ring? I don't understand.
Took the words right out of my mouth, man. Absolutely. How did he last any time? And then, of course, the guy who says get these hands is getting got with the worst hands of all time.
All time.
I mean,
it just doesn't
if you're still a Shane McMahon fan, I got some oceanfront property in Lincoln, Nebraska for you. Like, I don't understand. So then we're back to Bayley.
Yeah. Oh, God.
She intros the Hall of Fame. We already talked about it. Whatever. So I just don't know. This is King Kong Bundy. It's worse than Bundy.
Sucks for her.
What a drop, man.
She was good. She was good at what she was doing.
Most people thought that she was going to be in the main event of this Mania with Sasha after she murdered her in September. Nope, Sasha comes back 2 weeks later. Most people thought Bayley and Sasha would be closing this show tonight. No, Bayley is ding dong and beat it.
Yep.
So then Bad Bunny and Damian Priest take on Miz and Morrison. The intro to this match was about 10 minutes long. Slightly long. Understand why they do it, though. The number one streamed guy on Spotify last year was Bad Bunny in the world, not Taylor Swift.
I know who he is. He's hot amongst my students.
Yeah.
They like him.
Yeah. So he comes in on a semi truck. They got a whole little deal for him, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, man, what's going to happen here? We have heard that he has been training. He has been working his butt off. Last time we saw him do anything, he jumped off the rope to the outside, and he got about -8 inches of air when he did that.
It did look good.
Well, dude, he's been working.
I'll give it to him.
He looked good. He looked good. I'll give him all the credit in the world, man. He did. It could be the best celebrity in-ring performance of all time. It could be. He did good.
He did, and you made a reference to LT on our underrated WrestleMania matches where you went in there and you were like, what are we going to get here? And you were pleasantly surprised with what LT brought to the table.
Yep.
I was the same way here. I'm watching it, and when he first threw the punch, I'm like, okay, how are they going to do this? He hit him pretty good, and it was good. I still didn't really care about this match.
No.
That was the problem with me. I'm not a personal fan of Bad Bunny. I don't know. They've done a kind of a weak job of debuting Damian Priest to me. I mean, he's a big dude, looks cool, looks like he could go. I got no problem with him. I do actually like Miz and Morrison together. I think they work. But it just, I don't know, man. It's also hard. I mean, you've got a guy that's again a hip hop star or a Latin star or whatever wrestling with the Miz and the Morris. I mean,
who just had the world title like 3 weeks ago.
That's my only problem. And again, he did great. The match was far better than I thought it would be.
He did his job. None of that is his fault. Match.
But I mean, you can't move anywhere with hearing David Arquette this or this celebrity this. It's the same here. I know it's not the world title, but it's just hard for me. I get it when it's Mr. T. I get it when it's Floyd Mayweather. I get it when it's Lawrence Taylor. They're superstar athletes in another sport.
Right.
It's just hard for me to buy like William Shatner. Your Hall of Fame comes and beats someone up. Jon Stewart levels a chair shot. Bad Bunny can go it's hard, but hats off. I gave the match, pleasant. I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know what I would give it, but it was okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that 1,000%. The realism is hard. It's just like Shane. Like, how is Shane lasting with Braun Strowman? Well, Miz, as much as whatever, he was the world champion like a month ago.
The 2-time world champion.
And now Bad Bunny is like dealing on him for like half the match, and then he got messed with for a minute. And then afterward, he's just hitting freaking moves on this guy. He flies this time, unlike last time, from the top to the outside. He got some air. He even like cocked back when he was in midair. His hands and feet cocked back, looking like a flying squirrel out of there. That was sweet. He did the finish, which was another flying crossbody kind of LOD style with him up on the shoulders, only he does the crossbody. He does the Canadian Destroyer on the outside. I think there was something else he did. Suplex, that double suplex. He did his job, man.
I can't believe Morrison. I mean, that was some trust to do that move on the outside, man. I know people say, whatever, easy, this, that. That can go bad real quick. And he hit it well. It looked good.
Yeah. No, and they sold that with everybody, like even Damian Priest. What? Yep. All the booking stuff, that's not on him. He got in there and he delivered. He really did. So now we're on to the main event. We found out yesterday or the day before the ladies would be going on last, despite what most people believe was a massive missed opportunity here. The build to this was awful. They had a ton of momentum at Royal Rumble, a ton of momentum. Everybody knew right away it was going to be Sasha against Bianca, and people were excited about it. They really were, because they figured both of them can work. And the historical aspect, yes, the 2 black ladies in the world title match for the first time ever. And people like both of them. So people were pumped, man. People were really pumped. And what they did, booking wise, was a disservice to these 2 women. Big time. Because it sucked. It was terrible. And,
lame. It was,
because it was so bad. You got Reggie in there, and then they realized that didn't work, so they just threw her with Nia Jax, or threw him with Nia Jax, because that was awful. And then they were the tag team, and they were doing, can they coexist? They're not supposed to coexist. They're fighting each other. It's just stupid. And anyway, so because of that, people were like, well, that shouldn't go on last. Well, they fought. They were last. I personally love the match, and even better than the match, I will say, as terrible as this was, booking-wise, the last 3 months, that pre-match package is in the conversation for the best packages they've ever done, ever. It is at least the best WrestleMania package since Daniel Bryan at 30, probably even going back another step to another terrible build, but then all of a sudden the package made him look like $1 million. That's The Miz at WrestleMania 27. That pre-match thing was incredible with the Nas Hate Me Now song.
Right.
I will put this in the conversation with the best ever, along with everybody's favorite, My Way from WrestleMania 17. I thought it was that good. And I was like, my gosh, if you would have made this entire last couple of months feel like I just felt in this last 3 minutes, woo, it was awesome.
It was a great promo. It was hard for me because I had followed this feud. I had been watching the last months, and it just, like you said, a disservice to both ladies. I just was not. I knew I was going to get a good match because both of these ladies can work and work. Sasha's amazing in the ring, and Bianca looks like she's not far behind her coming up, especially with her freaking power. I would say she is to the women's division what Cesaro is to the men's division. As pound for pound, I think she's the strongest woman out there.
I don't even know if that, maybe strong, but she can fly too. I mean, she's out there doing 450s.
She's great. They didn't build her really well for me. I mean, again, I'm not a huge NXT guy. I didn't follow her all up through NXT. But the match was, I was a little underwhelmed because I didn't care, but the match was good. It was really good. Bianca carrying her up the stairs, I thought was super cool. It was
way more impressive than Brian Cage putting Darby Allin up the
she's
stairs
the same size.
Because they weigh the same. Because they weigh exactly the same.
Yeah, it had really cool spots. I just feel bad because I really felt Bianca was going to win. And knowing that she was going to win and feeling that, I shouldn't say knowing, and the kind of underwhelming build took away from what was a good match. It was a really good match.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. I got a little scared at the beginning, though, when they were in the ring, staring each other down, and they're doing the intros, and Bianca almost starts crying. Like, it gets to her. Like, she's, choking up. And I'm like, oh, crap. Hogan did that at WrestleMania 8 when he was coming down the aisle, and it was going to be his last match, and it almost got him. We have not seen this before, and I was worried because this is her first time on the big stage. She's never been in, like, a main event, let alone WrestleMania. I mean, she won the Rumble, but I was like, oh, crap. Is she going to, like, forget her spots? Is something going to – because, obviously it's gotten to her a little bit. It looked
good when she wiped it off too, though. I don't know if there was a second where she almost smacked her like, okay, I'm back in this.
And Sasha went like this, and then she went, okay, you come, you bring it.
And then, I thought that looked great.
That they did some cool spots, some stuff we have never seen before. Sasha dives through the middle. This is setting up the stair spot you talked about. Dives through the middle. She catches her, rolls through, then stands up, deadlifts her up, and carries her on her chest. Then freaking press slams the girl.
Awesome.
And then walks up in, like, one motion up the steps. I wish she would have, like, thrown her. That would have been amazing. Yeah. Hulk Hogan, Earl Hebner style. That would have been, but it was freaking great. And then she did later the Davey Boy suplex spot where she just held her up forever and then dropped her and brought her up again. I mean, just some cool stuff, man. The 450
very
splash.
Powerful.
I loved. We've talked about it numerous times. IRS, why doesn't somebody just grab that tie and yank him? Same thing with Bianca's hair.
How about the welt she took? Oh, man,
Yeah.
she got slapped. You could see the red mark on Sasha's side.
Yeah.
She's going to feel that in the morning, man.
Well, and just the snap, you heard the pop when it
Oh,
hit her, but
yep.
she used the hair, it grabbed her by the hair.
Yep.
I just thought that was great, man.
It was.
The only thing negative about this, the announcing was awful. They kept, and especially at the end, nobody thought this could happen. Nobody thought she could beat Sasha Banks. Wasn't the whole Sasha Banks storyline 6 months ago when she won the belt from Bayley? Okay, now can she defend it? Because she has never once defended the belt. She wins it, and then she loses in her first defense every single time. Now, all of a sudden, who would have thought in a million years that Sasha Banks could lose? 6 months ago, you told me the opposite. And I'm like, you guys really do think we're dumb. And then Michael Cole, he obviously didn't know what the finish was because Bianca hits the KOD. And he's like, Sasha kicks out. Sasha kicks out. No, he pinned her, Michael. Bianca's the champ. Bianca's the champ. That took away from the moment.
It did. Yeah, that's on him, and that's bad. Come on. I mean, that's as bad as whose side is he on?
Yeah.
Thanks,
well, and
dude.
I don't know. It might be on Sasha too. You hear a lot of that stuff, like people will go into business for themselves and kick out right after 3, so they think that makes them look better or something. I don't know if that happened. I don't know if they told her to do that. So maybe he was really confused. He didn't know. But it's too bad that there was a little hair of confusion there.
Yeah.
It was the best match of the night. And being the best match of the night, it should go on last. And because I don't think anything would have topped it. I thought Cesaro Rollins was really, really good. I have great match written down. I thought the first match was pretty good. I thought this match was better. And it deserved to go on last. And I'd like to see what they do with Bianca now.
I hope
dude,
something.
What she showed in the ring to me tonight, dude, we haven't seen a girl that can do that stuff. That was awesome. Like, it was awesome. It wasn't just Cesaro. It's Cesaro mixed with a Lucha, mixed with Goldberg, mixed with Lashley. Like the way she can throw you around, the way she can fly around. Like it was a little of everybody. Like she's some kind of freak hybrid girl, man. It was. I think she's great. I really like her. I really
I
hope
they develop her, man. I hope they just develop her well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. Because she's on top now. So we'll see what happened there. Anything else on the night, Nick? It's a weird night just because they had to. I thought they did good at the beginning. What are you gonna do, man? They were tap dancing at the beginning, man. With the interviews and everything. So obviously they got done a little later than they wanted as well. But what's your thoughts there? And then into tomorrow, what can they do tomorrow? What are you looking for tomorrow? What can they do better tomorrow besides, make it not rain?
Yeah, I'm shockingly surprised tonight. I'm going to give it that because this pay-per-view, there is no Cena, no Triple H, no Brock, no Undertaker. I mean, the major players that we have watched for the past how many years were not there. And I was thinking going into this, you're going to get good matches, but this could be a really bad Mania because no one's going to remember or care. Bad Bunny is probably the biggest name on the card.
He was on SportsCenter.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what they're going for.
I don't know, though, that's a great thing when Bad Bunny is bigger than your champions. And obviously, pop culture people will, but I mean, what I mean is you don't have the Cena, you don't have the Taker, right. You don't have these guys, but they pulled off a good show. I don't think this will be in that. It's not a worst ever WrestleMania. It certainly is not.
No,
so far.
And we thought the matches would be good. I was pleasantly surprised tonight. I'll tell you, there's stuff here that I still don't care about.
Right.
It was good though, and there's things I do care. Like I like Lashley, I like Drew, I like Cesaro, I like Rollins. But if I miss a Monday or a set, like I missed it this week. Like there's no reason. They don't make me. I have to watch tonight. No. I have to make sure my DVR is set tonight. Like none of those four guys do that.
Roman's the only one.
Yeah,
Roman's the only one, and he's still starting to teeter on that borderline too. If you don't do something more with him as well, so
yeah. But they all performed tonight. They all did awesome. And I'll tell you, the one person I just went off on her. I think Bianca has something now. Whether it ever comes to fruition, she is a person I think can turn into a person people are gonna. Hey man, I gotta watch Bianca tonight. I do, because I do think she has charisma. I do think she can talk. And the crap she did in the ring tonight, I think that'll make people go, wait, what did that girl just do? Yeah. She deadlifted that girl and then pressed her? What? And then she did a 450? What?
There's definitely something there. I don't know how big it can go. Let's just hope she's not in tag team turmoil next year. I mean, I hate to say it, dude, but you never know.
Bailey. Look at Bailey.
Look at Bailey. Not even on the freaking card.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, two little skits. Maybe we'll get a ding dong hello with Becky Lynch tomorrow. Maybe we won't, but we'll see.
I hope tomorrow. I hope tomorrow we're pleasantly surprised. I hope surprises keep coming, and I don't necessarily mean someone has to show up or something. Like Lashley winning was a surprise for me a little bit. I mean, I wanted him to do it. I thought he could do it. I texted you that I thought he could. I mean, but I wasn't going to be shocked.
You just didn't know.
I wasn't going to be shocked if they gave it to Drew.
Either way. No, I wasn't shocked either way, but I thought that also helped. You didn't know. You didn't know it was going to happen.
And I think they got that
quickly
on the final match.
I don't even know the entire card tomorrow. Let's go top couple of matches. Quick predictions. A sentence or two about each one. Main event, triple threat. What do you think?
I have a feeling they're trying to get the belt off Roman somehow. So I have a feeling one of those. I think they're going to get it on maybe Edge. I don't know. I feel like Edge is. God, it's a hard one. It's going to be Edge or Roman wins this match. Daniel Bryan is the fall guy.
So you're going with a heel regardless.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I don't see them putting the belt back on Daniel Bryan.
If it's a heel, it better be Roman.
It should be Roman. Yeah, I don't see why you would do. Maybe this sets up that would be not bad if Roman escapes this and Daniel Bryan and Edge can go feud for a pay-per-view.
Well, this is basically that.
I know it is basically them with Roman in the background,
right?
But I don't know. That one's a tough one, but I'm gonna say maybe Edge. It's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, and that does make it interesting. That Roman better win. He should win.
I hope so.
There is no excuse for him not to win, but I'm not surprised if he doesn't. I will not be surprised if he doesn't. Women's title, we got Asuka against Rhea Ripley. Walks in first day and gets a title match. What do you think? Rhea's got to win this, right?
She lost last year.
Yes.
She can't lose. She can't, and that was kind of what they did last year too. She just showed up. She just showed up though, got thrown into the main event match and lost.
Well, Charlotte challenged her.
That's right. Yeah. She wasn't on the show for an extended period.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing. She shows up now. She's in the main event.
She's got to win.
She's got to win. I got to go Rhea Ripley in this match. Yeah, I don't see why not. Unless
that's
we see
the
Becky.
No-brainer of the night, man. I mean, she's got to win.
Yeah.
She's got to win. And then The Fiend, back from the dead.
He's going to be
looking like a melted Lego, taking on Randolph Cornelius Orton III.
He's going to beat Orton. He's got to, right? I mean, Orton has got the best of him up to this point. I mean, he burned him.
Well, he killed him.
He did kill him. So, yeah.
if that's what one would consider getting the best of.
And again, another one I would love to see, though, please, if Orton would finally get rid us of the Fiend, would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he already did. You would have thought, the burning corpse would have been the getting rid of. But apparently it was not.
He's going to be burnt forever, I guess. I don't know. I'm taking the Fiend, though.
Well, I keep seeing people, too, say Randy's going to win, and then, okay, what do they do now with the Fiend? What are you doing? What can you do with him? You already burned him. He already drowned once. That's how they got rid of him the first time, right? Didn't he land in Matt Hardy's lake or something?
Yep.
I mean, what are we going to do next time? How is he going to die? Is he going to fall off a building? They already did that with a Big Show in 95 when he fell off Kobo. The guy just got right back up.
It's time to get this gimmick out of here, man.
Brutal.
It's just done. It's done. Go Orton. I hope Orton wins.
Well done.
Yeah.
Charbroiled. All right, Nick, we will do this one more time tomorrow. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for staying up with us. I know it's late, although you'll probably be getting this in the morning. So happy WrestleMania. I was entertained by the show.
Me too.
It was better than I expected. I had zero expectations, but it was better than I expected.
I can name 10 WrestleManias right now that are worse than just day one of this. So, I mean.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I actually did. So, cool, man. Hopefully we get a rerun tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
I hope so too.
Appreciate it. We'll see you in 24 hours.
Pleasure's all yours, Bucky boys.